everyone, so today I'm going to be ranking Michael Jackson's discography, and so the way that I'm going to do it is I'm just going to do the core albums, so not counting the younger albums when he was a kid, not counting the posthumous stuff because I don't really listen to posthumous releases. I don't believe in it because they couldn't give input on it, and so yeah. And so starting at the top at number 1, I have Thriller. Before you click off the video, let me explain why I have it at number 1 and hear the rest of the ranking. Hear me out, please. So why I have Thriller at number 1 is objectively, I feel like it is his best album, okay? If we're just looking at the sheer strength of the tracks, there's what, 8-9 songs out of this album, and like 6 of them are singles, and they all could have been singles, to be honest with you. It is just a strong album, okay? In the track list, Wanna Be Starting Something, you have Thriller, you have Billie Jean, you have Beat It on the same album, Human Nature, PYT, and I named most of the album. Like, this is basically a greatest hits album. It's basically a greatest hits album, which is a good thing, okay? People try their whole careers for Thriller to get a sliver of the success that he had with Thriller. So I just think that when you're looking at the strength of the tracks, in terms of his songwriting and everyone else who worked on the songwriting front, the vocal performances on here are spectacular. Production here was so good at the time, and it still sounds great. How can I argue against it being his best album? And so some people are gonna say, oh, well, it's not his best album artistically. Okay, fair. I will give you that point. However, the strength of the album doesn't lie when we go from track to track to track to track. And there's even some underrated songs in here that people don't care for that I really like. For example, the song with Paul McCartney, The Girl Is Mine. A lot of people like to shit on that song, but I love that song. I love it. I'm sorry. You know one thing about me, I'm a huge Paul McCartney fan, and I've been that for a long time. And so, of course, to see them collaborate was such a gift. I thought that they both sounded splendid on the song, so I like that one. The Lady in My Life was an album moment, which I thought was fantastic. And you have to give something to Baby Be Mine, which is my favorite song on the album, best song on the album to me. So, yeah, I mean, you just look at the era too, like the Grammys, that outfit he was wearing, his aesthetics, the album, the music videos, like it was a cultural phenomenon, okay? A cultural juggernaut. And so I can get people disagreeing with it, but I just think the strength of the tracks, it has to be there, it has to be there. No skips on this album for me. Very, very strong effort. I can't argue against it. Thriller at number 1. So my top 3 songs on this album, Baby Be Mine, The Girl Is Mine with Paul McCartney, and also I'm going to give it to Beat It as well. At number 2, I have Off the Wall. And so I've done reactions to some of these albums I haven't heard in full, so I did an Off the Wall reaction, Invincible, so I'll link all my Michael videos below at the end of this video and in the card somewhere. But, you know, I re-listened to all of his albums that I was going to review again for this video just to see if my thoughts had really changed and everything. For the most part, they haven't. You know, the only conclusion I really came to was that Off the Wall is my favorite Michael Jackson album. It's my favorite Michael Jackson album, okay? And for the longest, I felt like Thriller was my favorite album. You know, I do go and I listen to Thriller in full sometimes, I do. But Off the Wall, I think I listen to it a tad bit more. I think I like it a little bit more. And I have a soft spot for Off the Wall, I do. You might be saying, oh, if that's your favorite Michael Jackson album, then why don't you have it at number 1? Because whenever I do these, I try to have a mix of being objective and also personal favorites and replay value. Those 3 things mean a lot to me. So therefore, I had to put Thriller at number 1 because, like I just told you, it was a cultural juggernaut, the strength of the hits, and the fact that it has no skips on the album for me. And it's very rare to have no skips on the album for me. So that's why Thriller had to be at number 1. Unfortunately, Off the Wall has a skip, and She's Out My Life. I do not like this song. I think it's very bland. I think it's very bland. This whole album, a lot of these cool disco sounds going on. It was just so good for that time. It was so good for that time, man. And then whenever you get to She's Out of My Life, this song is boring as hell. That song is boring as hell, and it just messed up the vibe. It just messed up the vibe. So that song brings it down for me. It brings it down for me. And so the good thing about Off the Wall is there's a lot of strong offerings on this album, right? So I can't help it. One of my favorite Michael Jackson songs of all time. His vocals on there are so dazzling. The production, the songwriting, I believe Stevie Wonder wrote that song. That is an excellent song. That's one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs. Off the Wall, the song, one of the best title tracks I've ever heard. Mariah would go on to interpolate this on her song, I'm That Chick. You know one thing about me, huge Mariah Carey fan, my favorite artist ever. What he did on Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, it fed families, okay? Rock With You, a classic, a classic. I love Rock With You, okay? The drums in the beginning, the guitars, that video, he looked great in that video. The whole outfit that he had on, I'm very fond of Rock With You, okay? The fact that he starts this album with Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, can we talk about that? Can we talk about that? I'm sorry, that is such a great record. That is such a great record. This falsetto on the song, excellent, excellent. I said this recently, but as a man, I am judging your falsetto. I am judging your falsetto because you either have it or you don't. Michael Jackson has a great falsetto. We gotta talk about other stuff on this album. Get on the floor, okay? That's the blueprint for people like Justin Timberlake, okay? It's the Falling in Love is underrated on this album as well. Burn This Disco Out as a closer for this album. I like his version of Girlfriend too. I probably like Paul McCartney's version a little bit more. Maybe it's because I heard that version first, but both versions are very good. So yeah, She's Out of My Life is really the only blemish on this album for me, but the production on this album and the instrumentation I think is fantastic. It sounds great for the time and it still sounds great now. His vocals on here were absolutely insane. Songwriting on here is super catchy and the songs are great. So a very strong effort, a very strong effort. I'm very fond of Off the Wall personally. And my top 3 songs in this, just recapping, I Can't Help It is my favorite, Off the Wall and Rock With You, and then honorable mention to Get on the Floor. At number 3, I'm going to put The Bad album. So I think that Bad is a pretty good album. I think it's a pretty good album and I think that there's some strong song offerings on here. So some of my favorite records, Dirty Diana is one of Michael Jackson's best songs, okay? Top 10 Michael Jackson song of all time, I don't care. Whenever Michael got into that rock bag, it was something serious. It was something serious, so I absolutely love it. I love the guitars in there. I love his vocals. I love like all of it. Dirty Diana is just such an excellent piece on here. Another Part of Me, I was just re-listening to Another Part of Me. Yeah, it's too good. It's too good. I love Another Part of Me. Bad the song, I was just re-listening to that today, just before recording this video actually. Bad the song, yeah, it has to be one of his best choruses and one of the best choruses of all time for my money, okay? Whole time we're waiting for that chorus, and when that chorus comes in, it gives what needs to be gave every single time. The vocal layering on that chorus, excellent, excellent. The verses are really good too. The video, like, Bad is just a badass song. It is, I'm sorry, especially for that time. Okay, Michael Jackson said, you're not gonna play around me. You're not gonna play around me. You're not gonna play on my name. Okay, I can be bad too. Okay, he ate. I'm so sorry. This is an excellent song. Other stuff on here that was great. I really liked Liberian Girl. That is a beautiful song. That is a beautiful song as well. Leave Me Alone is a really good track too. The vocal harmonies and all that stuff. And if we're talking Bad 25, one of my favorite songs by Michael Jackson is Price of Fame. Okay, I did a top 10 Michael Jackson songs video, and that'll be in my playlist at the end and link down below. But Price of Fame, what the song that you are. I love Price of Fame. I love Price of Fame. So yeah, I think that there's some really strong records on here, some stuff that I really like from him. Some songs that I'm over at the moment. I don't need to hear Man in the Mirror again. Like I said, I'll re-listen to everything. I made myself listen to Man in the Mirror again, and I'm not anticipating doing that for a very long time. I'm just over Man in the Mirror. I have to be honest with you. So don't really need that. I Just Can't Stop Loving You. I'm okay with not really listening to that song a whole lot. Smooth Criminal, maybe every once in a while, to be honest with you. So there's that. I hate Speed Demon. I listened to it again and I hated every second of it. I hate Speed Demon. I don't know what you guys see in Speed Demon. So those are some songs that I'm just kind of like, I didn't really need it. I didn't really need it. So I think Bad was really good. I think it was good for that time. I liked his performances on here. I liked most of the songs in here. My problem with Bad is I don't really listen to it as an album. I don't really listen to it as an album. I cherry pick songs to listen to. And so that's why it's gonna fall to number 3 for me. Thriller and Off the Wall, I do listen to as albums frequently when I am listening to his music. I can't really say the same for Bad. I'm cherry picking songs and stuff like that. Even if I were to listen to it as an album, I have at least 3 to 4 songs that I'm going to skip. So that's why I have it at number 3, but you know, don't have it be mistaken. I think that Bad is a good album. Favorite songs in here, recapping: Dirty Diana, Bad, and Another Part of Me. Now on to number 4, I'm going to give it to Dangerous. So I made a video on my second channel, and it should be coming out the same day that you see this actually, and in that video I was talking about, oh, I just think that maybe Dangerous is growing on me and stuff like that. After I re-listened to Dangerous and all his albums again for this video, I have come to the conclusion I was just listening to In the Closet a lot, and I was letting that cloud my view of the whole album. It was just really in the closet for me. The last 2-3 weeks I've been listening to that song a lot, because when I re-listened to it, it's a cute album. You know, I think there's some really good records on it, but it's not holding up to the other 3 in my opinion. It's not holding up to the other 3 in my opinion. And I'm gonna say it, I do think that the Dangerous album is overrated. I do. I don't know, after re-listening to the 3 albums I just told you guys about, how is Dangerous better than Thriller, Bad, or Off the Wall? How is it better than any of those albums? Oh wait. Maybe the top songs are outpeaking the top songs on this other album, fine. As an album, as a cohesive experience, it's not beating those 3 albums. I'm so sorry. I went in, I gave it its fair shot, I listened to every song like I did, or all these except for the 2 songs written by that man, because No Free Cloud over here, fuck that man. Again, this is one that I cherry pick songs off of. So some of my favorites, In the Closet, yeah, In the Closet is really that song. Top 15 Michael Jackson song all time. The past like 3 weeks, I've really been hooked on In the Closet. Like I just keep listening to the song. When he performed it live on the History Tour 8, I really love In the Closet. I do. Just what a good song. What a good song. I can't believe I went so far in life without In the Closet. Remember the Time is excellent. I was re-listening to it again before doing this video, and yeah, especially his vocals at that ending part, that music video, the wardrobe, the choreography, having Amon in there, like what a moment that Remember the Time is. Top 10 Michael Jackson of all time. And then Dangerous, the song, that should have been the opener for the album. That should have been the opener for the album, okay? Instead of fucking Jam. And I literally was telling my friends this, but it's just a bunch of fucking nonsense that he's saying in it. Everyone was acting like he was saying something profound. I pulled it up on my TV, I pulled up the lyrics to Jam, and I was reading it, and I'm like, see, he's saying a bunch of fucking bullshit. Yet again, I'm still right on Jam. I don't give a fuck. Jam. Like, what the fuck? I hate Jam. I hate fucking Jam. I hate this fucking song. Why did he have it open the album? Why did he have it open the album? And anybody who tries to argue with me that Jam is a good song, I'm seeing you differently. I'm seeing you differently, because how can you say in good conscience that Jam is a good song? Generational hate for Jam. I don't like Jam. I cannot stress that enough. And I have a whole video reacting to this as well, so if you want to see my full reaction to the songs I haven't heard, you guys can check that out. Going through the songs that I really like and some underrated stuff as well. Why You Wanna Trip on Me is such a good song. Give In to Me is excellent. Okay, we have to have a conversation about Give In to Me. Also, Who Is It? Same kind of vibe. Some songs I don't really care to listen to that much now. Jam, I already mentioned that. Heal the World, I get his humanitarian effort. However, I just don't want to listen to Heal the World. I don't want to listen to Heal the World. I'm going to be honest with you. And Black or White, same difference, same difference. Yeah, I don't need to hear Black or White again. She Drives Me Wild and Can't Let Her Get Away. I probably liked them when I first listened to it, but now those are skips. Those are skips. Will You Be There? Keep the Faith. Boring, boring. 9 times out of 10, when Michael gets into his humanitarian bag and is talking about the world and climate change and global warming and all these important issues, I zone out. I zone out. There's a few examples that I really like Earth Song, and I'll talk about that later because that's one of my favorites. However, 9 times out of 10, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I just don't like when Michael gets corny, okay? So when we're getting to Keep the Faith and Will You Be There and Heal the World, it's just like, pack it up, pack it up, pack it up. I'm sorry, I don't cover the song. Gone Too Soon was decent, but it's not something that I'm listening to on a regular basis. I can be honest about that. And like I said, Dangerous, the song should have opened up the album. Yeah, we had some good moments on the album. I think Dangerous is a good album. However, it's not being in the top 3 after my re-listen. And my favorites on this album, for a recap, were Remember the Time, In the Closet, and Dangerous, the song. On to number 5, which is going to be his Invincible album. So I think that Invincible is a decent body of work. My issue with Invincible is after the 7th or 8th song, it falls off of a cliff. Okay, if he would have had this be a 10-track album and the last 3 songs would have been mid, I could have forgiven it, okay? This probably would have been above bad. That's how much I like that first run in the beginning of the album. But then when we start getting to stuff like the 2000 Watt song, I have an issue now. I have an issue now. The Lost Children song, Cry Written by That Man Who Going to Hell. So we had records like that, and there are some good songs in the back half. Like, I liked Threatened, I believe. I like Whatever Happened. So there are some good songs in the back half. However, it's just so front-loaded. It's so front-loaded, and the back half hails in comparison. And that's what hurts me about Invincible, because you want to put it up, but then when I think about that back half, it's hard for me. And it was even hard for me doing this ranking because I was thinking, oh, maybe I would put it higher, but I couldn't justify it, okay? I am more inclined to be favorable to our album if I like the first half more and it falls off in the beginning, more so if I'm just cherry picking songs off the first half and everything. That's what I was kind of doing with stuff like Dangerous. However, you know, the good songs are more spread out all the way throughout Dangerous. I think that the cliff that Invincible falls out is kind of unforgivable. It's kind of unforgivable, right? So some gems on this album, it's really the first 3 songs. Unbreakable is a nice way to open up the album. Heartbreaker is really catchy. Kind of repetitive. I feel like I said this before, but yeah, I don't know. We needed something to break up the monotony. Invincible, the song is really good too, so I'd say that those are underrated. I already kind of talked about like Whatever Happens, Threatened. I still like those songs by extension. And the track run that really hit for me is whenever he goes through Break of Dawn, Heaven Can Wait, You Rock My World, and Butterflies. One of the best 4-track runs of all time on an album. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Whenever I did my top 10 Michael Jackson songs, I put Heaven Can Wait at number 1. I think it's phenomenal. And this is one that I heard a snippet of on TikTok, and whenever I finally got around to listening to it, I was happy. I was like, this is such a great song, right? So I really enjoyed that record, obviously. Break of Dawn is phenomenal. It's just a phenomenal song. The production, the vocal, the background vocal, the lyrics, it's so good. It's so good. And You Rock My World, I hate the intro of it. As you guys know. However, the rest of the song is so good. That chorus, it's so good. It's so good. I hate the video. I hate the video. I have to be honest. And yeah, he was just doing anything. But You Rock My World, in the beginning part when he says, and I finally found, and how that like kind of drifts into the chorus, that's like probably one of my favorite parts of the song. Even the intro, whenever he says Dark Child and the little producer type movement, like I even love that part. So You Rock My World is such a good song. It's such a good song. Production on there, Dark Child 8. Michael's vocals on here were phenomenal. The songwriting on here was super catchy. I already talked about that chorus. So I really have an affinity for You Rock My World. Butterflies has to be one of the most gorgeous songs I've ever heard, okay? I don't play about that song. I don't play about that song. But that song is not for me. The amount of times I played that song, yeah, it was something serious. I think it was on my Spotify Wrapped. I think it was on like my top 100 most played songs. And I can't say I was shocked. I gave that a lot of plays. And in the beginning when it says, and all you have to do is not answer my calls when I'm trying to get through, like his vocal at that part, excellent. Shout out to, you know, Flowetry for letting him sing the song. Yeah, just love it. Vocal performance was so immaculate. Productions on here, even the beginning part with just the vocals, just so angelic, just so beautiful, okay? Yeah, it's just a slam dunk. Yeah, those are basically my favorites. Heaven Can Wait, Butterflies, You Rock My World, and honorable mention to Break of Dawn. Now on to number 6, which is going to be the History album. As we know, he didn't really want to do the whole compilation bit. They made him do it. Tommy Mottola Going to Hell as a Mariah fan. I hate Tommy Mottola so bad. If you know, you know. And so he ended up doing that. The second half is the actual song, so I'm really only talking about the second half, right? And so there was some good stuff on here. Earth Song, I was talking about that a little bit earlier, but one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs of all time. The vocal performance on there, chilling, okay? Especially when it gets to kind of that bridge moment. He wasn't fucking around. So a lot of love for Earth Song. And then Stranger in Moscow is an excellent piece. It's an excellent piece. I had that honorable mentions in my top 10 Michael Jackson songs because you have to talk about it. You have to talk about it. I really appreciate what he did with Stranger in Moscow. Kind of doesn't get enough love. And another favorite is obviously They Don't Really Care About Us. Some other gems on here, This Time Around, Money. Like his rendition of Come Together. I hate the production on it. I wish it would have been the actual like Beatles production because they take out the drum fill, which was such a great part of the song. And it's so niche. But if anybody has a mashup where they have the Beatles production and Michael's vocal over it, please send it to me. I tried to look for it. I couldn't find it. I don't know. Cowboy Junkie is a great song on this album. That's a great song on this album as well. But for every song like that, You Are Not Alone. I hate that record. I hate that record. It's written by someone who is illiterate. Fuck that man. And then DS. I get what he was trying to do with DS. I just don't love the song. However, Childhood is corny as hell. And then you also had stuff like Too Bad. Who told him Too Bad was worth putting out? Who? I would like to talk to that person because what the hell was Too Bad? And then History, the song is so corny. Lil Susie, one of my friends hates that song and he's right. The song is garbage. Smile was mid. Okay. I'm kind of split on it. I don't know. It's just some stuff. It's just like, let's put it on the album. Let's put it on the album. When the songs are good, they're good. When they're bad, they're bad. No pun intended. And so, yeah, that's kind of how I got to putting History at 6. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Favorite songs in here, I already shared them, but first song, Stranger in Moscow, and They Don't Really Care About Us. Honorable mention to Tabloid Junkie, kind of talking about like the media and all this stuff, and I thought that that was a really good song. That and Price of Fame are kind of like sister songs to me in a way, so listening to it, I was like, man, this is a really good song. Like, I liked it when I first heard it, but really listening to it, I'm like, it's kind of underrated, so yeah, good gem. Down to number 7, which is going to be Blood on the Dance Floor, and it also has the History remixes as well. So the reason why Blood on the Dance Floor is at the bottom is because there's not that many good songs on Blood on the Dance Floor. I think we can be honest. My favorite songs, my top 3, was Blood on the Dance Floor, the song, and then I also really like Superfly Sister and Ghost. All 3 of those songs are great. When I was watching History Tour the other day and he was performing Blood on the Dance Floor, I already really liked the song, but that song is so good. That song is so good. Ghost is so excellent. Superfly Sister's underrated. So those are the songs that I really went up for. And then you had stuff like Morphine, I believe, was on this album, which I didn't really care for. I think we had Is It Scary on this album. Like, who really cares about that song either? So yeah, I was just kind of mixed on that. And then we had the History remixes, and the only good remix that I cared about was the Money remix. That's literally it. All the other remixes were trash, and who cares? So that's why I have it at the bottom. And like I said, the Michael album and the Escape album are NA. Like, I'm not going to talk about those because I didn't listen to those. So yeah, I'm gonna put on the screen my little graphic here, and I'm gonna just have it there. So for the recap of the albums, I have Thriller at number 1, Off the Wall at number 2, Bad at 3, I had Dangerous at 4, at number 5, I had Invincible, at number 6, I had History, at number 7, I had Blood on the Dance Floor and the History remixes. And so yeah, that's how I did it. That's how I did it and everything. But like History, I'm solely judging it off of the new songs. I'm not adding in the compilation of songs because those songs are on other albums, so that doesn't influence everything on my ranking. So I had to say that. And Blood on the Dance Floor, mainly judging the new songs that he added in on it and everything. But yeah, that's kind of how I did mine, give or take. And then my graphic on the screen is also going to show you my top 3, just kind of going over everything. I'm going to do this more for whenever I do album rankings, just to give kind of a little recap and everything. But yeah, I just felt like it was time to do this video. I've really been on a Michael kick as of late, and it was time to do this video. It was time to do this video. And like I said, on my second channel, a video is going to come out literally the same day. But I wanted to get this done today. I wanted to get this done today. Got my Vikings on. I know they lost the game, and that hurt me. And if you want to see my whole thoughts on that, my second channel, Anastasia 25 Vlogs, I think the same day that you're seeing this, I will have posted my thoughts on the wild card round, and I'm giving my thoughts on the divisional round. So you can hear my full thoughts on that. I don't really want to get into that today. And yeah, it's good to kind of wrap up my Michael journey in a sense. Maybe I'll do some more videos on him and everything. We shall see. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments though. How would you rank his albums? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? A lot of my friends have an affinity for Dangerous, and we've talked about this, and I happen to disagree with them. So I am sure that some of you guys feel the same way. Just love to know your ranking. I'd love to know your favorite songs, what you think of my ranking. If there's any other fun facts about the album that you would like to share with me, then let me know. I've done my research and I have friends who are into Michael Jackson, so I feel like I'm informed about the eras and stuff like that. But if there's more you want to share, I'm definitely down to hear that and to hear your take on it. And like I already said, all my videos on Michael Jackson, I'll have them linked below and at the end of this video if you would like to see more. That'll be it for the video though. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you can give it a like below. It helps me out a lot. I very much appreciate it. You can subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. And if you hit the bell, get notification to when I post. Do not miss when brand new videos come out. I'm doing album reviews, album reactions every single week. And so the first link down below in the description will be my second YouTube channel. So I finally posted episode 5 of my Generational Hate series. And so I was talking about why I can't stand Shaka Khan. So if you want to know why I hate Shaka Khan, then definitely go watch that video on my second channel. Recent stuff that I did as well. I ranked all of Mariah Carey's 19 number ones. It was something that I was thinking about doing for a long time, and it was hard for me, but I decided to put myself up to the challenge anyway, so I did that. I also did What Table Are You Sitting At 2024 edition. I also talked about which Ariana Grande track 12 is best, which Shake It song is superior. Talked about the NFL playoffs bracket and my predictions. I also talked about why we need to have a conversation about Mary J. Blige's Mary album and my take on it. I did a video and it was album battle, Share My World versus My Life and stuff like that. So I like to talk about the music industry, current and trending topics, and even just talk about, older music and put songs up against each other and stuff like that. I also like to talk about sports. Got my Sam Donald on. We have another one back there. We have my Jordan Love over there. I got Patrick behind me. I got Angel Reese over here. And you guys hate on Angel Reese too much for me, and I always say that every time because y'all haters. And so, yeah, I like to talk about sports sometimes. I talk about the NFL every week. When the WNBA comes back on, I'm sure I'll talk about that again. And so, also Dance Moms is one of my favorite shows of all time. So I've done plenty of videos on Dance Moms, so you guys can definitely check that out as well. And also, I'm going to have my social media linked down below as well. So I'm on Twitter at the Anastasia25, and my backup is at AnastasiaW18. On there, music, pop culture, whatever. I love Twitter a lot, so check me out on Twitter. Also have Instagram, Anastasia.womack. TikTok, hopefully it's still up. I would really like it to continue by the time you see this video, but I don't know. But as of now, my main TikTok is Anastasia.womack. So all of my second channel content that I just talked with you about, it's on my TikTok as well. My second account, Anastasia250_. That's where I like to talk about sports and other topics and stuff like that. And so you guys can check that out. And my downstairs account is the Anastasia25_. My Spotify, Anastasia.womack. My earbuds, Anastasia.155. We possibly must educate ourselves on this. If you guys have any links for the LA wildfire situation, let me know. I'd like to share that and donate to the cause. Something important I feel for everyone who's going through that. And yeah, fuck Trump. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.